there was another WWE pay-per-view this past Sunday. It was Payback. And overall, I thought the work was pretty good. The Cesaro and Sheamus match was fun to watch. I know that he's a guy that splits people, but I find Sheamus likable.
Are you going match by match breakdown?
No, I'm not. Okay. I just said I'm going to talk about a couple. Call me tits. It's nice to see Sheamus's work rate go up. That was a fun match.
He always puts on a solid match, Sheamus, I feel.
He's doing better now, and I think when you put him up against someone like Cesaro, it's really easy to have a good match.
You might be motivated with Cesaro.
Right. The Wyatt Cena match, the last man standing 10 count, was just a huge improvement over their abysmal cage match. It made both of them look good.
I didn't see the cage match. I skimmed through this one.
The cage match was miserable. And then lastly, what I wanted to really talk about, what I was happy with, was the main event was Shield versus Evolution. And why I liked it so much was not only was it a decent match, but they let the Shield, which is all new guys, newcomers.
They've been a year and a half.
Yeah. Which, I mean, WWE is notorious for holding down their young talent. They let them run through. So the match was a 6-man tag, and it was elimination style, meaning when someone got pinned, that was not the win. You had to eliminate every member of the tag team to win. And they let the Shield run through Evolution. Absolutely zero pinfalls on Evolution's side.
On Shield's side.
Evolution didn't get any pinfalls.
Okay.
Which is incredible because they put over 3 young guys over 3 of their top talent.
They were put over the month before though too.
They were, but not
even more
not in a way like this. Problem is in the next day on Raw they turn Rollins.
Well, let's back up. Right now, Daniel Bryan just had neck surgery like 2 weeks ago, so I think he's going to be back for the next pay-per-view. I haven't read all up on the dirt sheets yet, but I think it went very well. That it was supposed to be like a 6 to 8 week recovery, so he's going to be back. So hopefully I don't have to take the title off, because that would really be a shame after all the build up and him finally getting it. That said, right now the hottest angle in the company by far is that Shield versus Evolution. It's the hottest angle by far.
Sure.
What Cena and Wyatt is doing very well though as well, and I do like where they're kind of taking that, and I do like where they have taken it. And Bray has been built up a lot through that feud, wonderfully. So basically, on the beginning of Raw, Triple H comes out with Orton and Batista, and are like, "We're not done with you guys. We're just getting started. We have a plan." And Batista, which actually was a good move for his character, said, "No, I said I'm done with the Shield. I came back, and I was supposed to be given a one-on-one match with the champ for winning the Royal Rumble. That has not happened. I'm out of here." And he quote unquote quits. He's probably taking time off to help promote Guardians of the Galaxy for the next couple months. Or maybe he'll be back in a couple weeks. But the whole point was that he walked out. It actually makes sense storyline-wise. I had no problem with that. So then they set up a match for the end with Orton against Roman Reigns at the end of Raw? Yeah, I just saw it like 2 days ago, and I still don't remember. So anyway, the match comes up. All members come down, and then the Shield's ready to hold them off in the ring. Seth Rollins grabs a chair. Unfortunately, they kind of choreographed it with the widescreen. They saw him holding it. He takes out Roman Reigns with the chair. And Dean Ambrose's face of shock was sold so well and acted so well.
Did you see the big meme that was going around?
No, I didn't.
It was the classic Simpsons scene at the top where Ralph is next to Lisa, and Bart says, "Look, you can see the exact moment where his heart breaks," and it was superimposed over that face. And
this was important though. And I'll get this reason. He acted that as well as you could have expected. Someone basically, almost like your brother stabbing you in the back. Basically, is how he acted. He was in shock for like 5 to 10 seconds, and the crowd went stunned. And that's to me why it was so beautiful, because the crowd did not expect it at all. And it's the first time I've seen something in wrestling that was not expected in a very, very long time to this level. So he beats the hell out of it. He bends the chair almost in half, breaking it over Dean Ambrose's back. He does his...
Ambrose?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
He breaks it over Ambrose's back. Seth Rollins. He only hit Roman Reigns with it once.
Okay.
He breaks it over. He hit him like 8 times with the chair. Did the curb stomp on the chair to Ambrose. So Ambrose is out like a light. Then everyone comes in and beats the hell out of Roman Reigns. And then there you go. They're standing tall. And so basically he's joined Evolution, Seth Rollins.
Well,
so this is where we're going to disagree. I thought while the time in it had the best of it, I think it was very smart to do that, and they picked the perfect member of the Shield to do that, and this is why. Seth Rollins was always the guy that said that he's a guy that probably won't be the guy that makes it. He's a guy that doesn't... Dean Ambrose is outstanding on the mic. Yes. He won't have a problem. Roman Reigns has great charisma and a great look. I'm not sure he's going to be successful long term because he's the weakest wrestler of the three.
Yeah.
But he's fine. Rollins was the guy that kind of was getting lost. While he was decent on the mic, really good in ring, he's a smaller guy kind of. He's a high flyer. Turning him heel now pushes him up, elevates him. Now he's the one that gets noticed. The other two guys would have been fine on their own.
I say that is fair. I feel like you had such momentum with the Shield that to end it. I mean, a year and a half is abrupt.
Not anymore, though. That's the thing. Not for wrestling now.
Okay, see,
in the 80s, it was. Not anymore. When you have 2 shows a week, you have, you know what I mean? You have all these televised events.
I'm going back to even late 90s. But, year and a half, what I'm really talking about is Shield as faces. I mean...
Yeah, for faces, it's only been about 3.5 months, 4 months.
So... I mean, I do agree with what you say because I very much like Seth Rollins. He's a very good wrestler, and I think part of his problem is he doesn't. I don't know. He doesn't. It's not that he doesn't stand out. He doesn't have much of a voice. Yes. Reigns has a presence. Ambrose is just. I love Ambrose. I mean, Ambrose is probably my favorite of the three.
Ambrose is actually Roman Reigns is my least favorite of the three.
Yeah, no,
he has the weakest mic skills and he's weakest in the ring. I don't give a shit about.
He finishes with a spear in 2014.
I don't care. I don't honestly care if you have a nice look and charisma. If you don't have mic skills, you're not going to go far.
I don't
look at Ryback. He sort of fell off.
I mean, I like all three of them, but I mean, it definitely would go Ambrose for me, Rollins, then Reigns. So, by putting him with some stronger characters, maybe he can learn some things. I just feel that...
Well, I think now he's like pushed him almost near main event, if not main event status, just from doing that. Right. That's why... Here's the thing. If they split up amicably, one of them would have got lost by default.
It's true.
One of them would have been lost. You can't... It's hard to push 3 guys breaking up from a group, let alone 2 in a tag. Whenever they break up a tag team, one guy's always lost. Out of these 3, one of them would have lost. Now none of them are going to get lost because now they can. This storyline can go forward now for another few months. Where I'm not sure the Shield will recruit someone else, but they're going to be fighting for their lives. The 2 of them together.
They can
now,
do
Ambrose
2-man
and
tag,
Reigns. Yes.
Right? That's interesting. I mean, here's a couple ways I look at it. They can do 2-man tag. They can recruit. I mean, I don't want them to do that, but I feel like if they did it if you want a good match, you let Evolution wrestle against Ambrose and Reigns as Rollins and Orton.
But I think it's great, though, because now you have this thing now where Ambrose was always sort of, not the odd man out, but Ambrose is such a wild card that when they teased the breakup, you thought Ambrose was going to be the one. This is why, again, it was so brilliant. Ambrose, you thought was going to be one that was going to be the one that turned about 3-4 months ago, and he didn't. He came back. And then Rollins taught him a lesson by stepping out of that 3-man tag, let him get beat up. Then Rollins is the one that turns, and he was quote-unquote the architect of the Shield. He was supposedly the brains behind it, and he's the one that turns. So now you have these 2 wrestlers that will probably be intertwined for the rest of their careers in one way or the other, and they couldn't be more different, Ambrose and Roman Reigns. But that's a very interesting dynamic to me, just to have those 2 together like that.
The last thing
it's like Mr. T and the crazy one from A-Team. That's why
Mad Dog Murdoch.
Murdoch. Yeah.
My nickname was Murdoch. For my senior year.
And this is why
I'm not going to say why, but my senior year of high school.
I drink a lot of Mad Dogs.
No, it wasn't that. So the last thing I'll throw out there about this real quick is it has crossed my mind a couple times. I haven't seen if anyone else thinks maybe the same way. Do you think this might be a short-term heel turn? Do you think this is a tactic, or do you think this is a permanent?
This is permanent.
This is a permanent heel turn.
For the shock of the crowd, this cannot be a shitty swerve from WCW Nitro 99 where it was only 2. No, this is permanent. And it has to be for the betterment of everyone for it to happen.
Yeah.
Again, maybe they could have waited a couple more months to done it. Maybe SummerSlam, but I think doing it at this point, no one was expecting it. That was so great about it. Again, I haven't seen a crowd this shocked, minus Brock Lesnar beating Undertaker. Before that, I can't remember the last time a crowd was this shocked. It has to be at least 6-7 years.
Well, you like their booking or not, you can really say that. I mean, WWE's done some things to keep the crowd on their toes.
And they're pushing young talent. Yeah. Besides Dolph Ziggler, who's gotten and Damien Sandow, who are now shit upon. But besides them, everything else has been great.
Sandow, whatever, but Ziggler, I like.
Ziggler's been getting jobbed out the past 6-7 months, which is ridiculous because he was world heavyweight champion a year ago. But anyway, so that's great, and it's also great because now Evolution has Triple H in the mentoring role. He's older now, obviously. He looks it. He's in his mid-40s now. And then you have Orton as the current guy. So he was how Triple H was 10 years ago. And now the young guy who was Orton 10 years ago is now Seth Rollins. So it's pretty good.
I always want Orton to be better than he is.
He's fine.
He's
just not
okay.
outstanding.
Yeah, exactly.
He never puts on a bad match, but never puts on a match that goes, wow, that was awesome.
Yeah.